You think you know what you want from a budget Bluetooth speaker system, but today we're diving into the Logitech Z407, and I'm going to save you some serious buyer's remorse, because the problems with this thing are not what you'd expect from a 4.3-star rated product. For the best price, click the link in the description. The promise is huge, immersive sound with a wireless dial for control, but here's what surprised me immediately. That dial is a Trojan horse of frustration, and the immersive sound falls apart the moment you listen closely. I tested it, I measured it, and I lived with it, and this isn't a simple thumbs up or down. This is a deep dive into why this popular system might be the wrong choice for your desk, your games, and your music. Therefore, let's get into the hook. You've seen the ads, the sleek gray speakers, that cool-looking puck they call a dial. It screams modern convenience. But the first problem hits you before you even play a note. Setup is weirdly archaic. The subwoofer connects to the speakers with these chunky, stiff wires that feel like they're from 2005, not a modern wireless system. You'll be crawling under your desk, let me tell you. I felt like a contortionist trying to plug in what's supposed to be a sleek solution. So you get it all plugged in, fire it up, and the sound is actually okay at first. Not amazing, but okay. The bass from that down-firing woofer has some thump, and this is a huge but, that clarity they promise. It vanishes at higher volumes. The sound gets congested, like the speakers are trying to yell through a pillow. That's your first red flag. Now the star of the show, the wireless control dial. Logitech makes this the centerpiece. Tap to play pause, spin for volume, twist the outer ring for bass. It looks fantastic in the promo shots. However, using it is like trying to have a polite conversation with a robot that's half asleep. The touch controls are laggy. You tap to pause a video, you wait. You tap again thinking you missed it, and suddenly it's paused and unpaused. It's infuriating. The wireless range. They claim 30 meters line of sight. I got about 8 meters through one wall before it started stuttering. My Wi-Fi router has better range. It's a gimmick that works just well enough to be maddening when it doesn't. So you think, fine, I'll just use the buttons on my computer. But therefore you realize you've paid a premium for a feature that actively makes the experience worse. Joke number 1. Using this dial feels less like controlling your sound and more like trying to teach a very stubborn hamster to do tricks. It's not fun. Let's talk sound quality in depth, because this is where the honest review part gets brutal. The specs: 80W peak, 40W RMS, with a 20W dedicated woofer. On paper, for $100, that's decent. The reality is a sound signature that's all mid-bass bloat and treble roll-off. Translation: it's boomy but muddy. Kick drums have weight but you lose the snap of the snare. In movies, explosions are loud but lack texture. For gaming, positional audio is a joke, hearing footsteps directionally. Forget it. It's a vague, monochromatic wall of sound. I compared it to cheaper 2.1 systems, and it holds its own on pure volume, but the moment you want detail, it's gone. The dual-position speakers are a nice aesthetic touch. Lay them horizontal or vertical, but it doesn't change the sound. It's like putting a nice frame on a blurry picture. Connectivity is the one area where the Z407 almost redeems itself. Bluetooth, micro USB for a computer connection, and a 3.5 MAUX input. Switching between them with the buttons on the right speaker is relatively snappy. I'll give them that. But of course there's a but. The Bluetooth is an older version. In 2024, the lack of modern codec support like aptX means your high-quality music streams get compressed into a muddy Bluetooth sandwich before they even hit the speakers. You're not getting the full quality from your Spotify or Apple Music subscription. It's a bottleneck. So you have multiple ways to connect, but the best-sounding way is the wired 3.5, which defeats the whole wireless control dial fantasy. Joke number 2. Logitech gave you 3 doors to walk through, but they all lead to the same slightly disappointing room. Now, let's address the Amazon reviews. A 4.3-star rating is impressive. It makes you think, maybe my unit is defective. So I dove deep. Many 5-star reviews are from people upgrading from tinny laptop speakers or a cheap $20 soundbar. Anything sounds amazing after that. It's the audio version of eating nothing but crackers for a week. A piece of toast will taste like a feast. The critical reviews, the ones buried a few pages deep, highlight the exact issues I'm talking about. The dial lag, the muddy sound at high volume, the cheap-feeling wires. People are buying this for the Logitech name and the aesthetics, not for critical listening. Therefore, that high rating is a trap for the uninformed buyer. You're smarter than that because you're watching this. Is it all bad? No. For a casual user who just wants louder sound than their TV or monitor provides, and who will never push the volume past 60%, it's fine. The subwoofer does add physical presence that a soundbar can't. The design is minimalist and will fit on most desks without screaming gamer. But for anyone who cares about audio fidelity, for music producers on a budget, for competitive gamers, or for movie buffs, this system is a series of compromises that add up to a no. Joke number 3. The Logitech Z407 is the audio equivalent of a fast food burger. It looks good in the commercial, satisfies a basic hunger, but leaves you feeling a bit empty and wondering if you should have just cooked at home. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. Value. At $108.99, it's in a brutal price bracket. For just a bit more, you can get into entry-level bookshelf speakers and a small amp that will demolish this in sound quality. For the same price, there are other 2.1 systems that may not have the fancy dial but offer clearer sound. You are paying a significant markup for that wireless dial gimmick. It's the cost of a fancy dinner for two for a feature that makes you want to throw the dial out the window. That's the core problem. Logitech prioritized a cool-looking, poorly executed feature over fundamental sonic performance. So after a week of testing, what's the final verdict? The Logitech Z407 is a lesson in marketing over engineering. It looks the part, it promises a slick wireless future, but the execution is half-baked. The sound is mediocre when pushed, the signature feature is laggy and unreliable, and the value proposition collapses under scrutiny. It's a system designed to sell on an Amazon page with good pictures and specs, not to delight a user long-term. Joke number 4. If this speaker system were a person, it would be that friend who shows up to a hike in brand new, stylish boots that give them blisters after 10 minutes. All show, not enough go. Therefore, who is this for? Honestly, a very narrow audience. Someone who values aesthetics and a wireless dial above all else, who listens at low to moderate volumes, and who is upgrading from genuinely terrible audio. For everyone else, the problems are too significant to ignore. The muddy sound, the frustrating controls, and the questionable value make it a hard recommendation. There are better ways to spend $100 on your audio setup. My final advice: listen to some alternatives before you commit. Your ears will thank you. And if, after all this, you still want to check out the Logitech Z407 for yourself and see the current price, because maybe your needs fit that narrow niche, I've left a link in the description where you can find the best deal on Amazon. Click the link below to check the price. Thanks for watching.